Hello, YouTube. So the Cleveland Browns have made their decision. They are keeping Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel. They have decided to cut Tyler Huntley, and he's no longer going to be on with the team. So ultimately, what does this mean? So first off, it means I was wrong about Tyler Huntley. I was thinking that he was going to for sure be kept with the team, and they're going to try to get rid of Kenny Pickett somehow. They might still do that. I'm not exactly sure if someone was going to pick up Tyler Huntley or not. He played very, very well for the Cleveland Browns throughout the preseason games that he participated in. So that's a really good takeaway from that. But ultimately, they are running with their four that they've had pretty much the whole offseason, and they're going to ultimately just see if they can't go into the season and then finish the season, hopefully making the playoffs with those four quarterbacks. So a lot of people have been talking about Shedeur Sanders and how he was pulled out of the last preseason game and replaced by Tyler Huntley. Why would they do that if they were going to just release Tyler Huntley the next day? So there's a lot of reasons for it. First off, Shedeur Sanders was hit quite a bit in the game, and the Cleveland Browns already have an issue of keeping all their quarterbacks healthy. So they might have just wanted to do that just for that final 2-minute warning, just to make sure that nothing bad happened to Shedeur Sanders so they could have all their quarterbacks healthy going into the season. But also, when it comes to quarterback in the preseason, there's so much going on, and the quarterback's kind of the guy who goes in and gets everybody ready before the snap, gets everybody set up where they need to be, and then ultimately he snaps the ball. There could have been a situation where they really just wanted to evaluate some other players on the team who were going out there for that final 2-minute warning. They might have been putting some starters in. They might have been switching some things up with their different position groups, and they wanted to have an experienced quarterback there. That's a big part of the offseason, especially preseason games, is how do you mix and match players to get the most out of them? Do you need a veteran player on the offensive line to help the rest of the offensive line play well, to analyze what the defensive line's doing and linebacker core is doing? And then how do you get everybody in the right position and let everybody know who they're blocking? So there can be so much that goes into it. But ultimately, Shedeur Sanders, he played relatively well. He got hit a lot. He didn't complete a lot of passes, but still he went out there and he did an all right job. But then Dillon Gabriel, he really lit it up when he was out there. Same thing with Joe Flacco. And then again, Tyler Huntley. So when I look at this position group for the Cleveland Browns, I don't look at it as who's going to be the quarterback of the future. It's who's going to be the quarterback right now, this week. Because with the Cleveland Browns, they've had so much fluctuation with their quarterbacks since Baker Mayfield was drafted by them that it's really kind of hard to know who's going to be the quarterback of the future and think that far ahead when you're trying to win games right now. So ultimately, this whole season is going to be about winning games right now and to see if they can't pull some magic out with their quarterbacks they have on the roster. There's been a lot of talk about getting rid of Kevin Stefanski, their head coach. But ultimately, he's the best head coach they've had for quite a while. He's made 2 playoff appearances. And he's got a good enough team this year, I do believe, to make the playoffs with the quarterbacks that they have and all the players they have right now. So ultimately, again, I've said it before in the past, this is kind of an evaluation year to really see where they're at. They have some really good defensive players, some really good offensive players, a really good offensive line when everybody's healthy. It'd be really interesting to see what will happen this season if they can have some success, if they can keep some of their players healthy, and ultimately just roll with the best player they have in each position. A big purpose of the offseason is to evaluate who should be your best players, and then how do you get them starting reps. And when you have guys like a Joe Flacco who started a lot of games, who's made a lot of playoff games and a lot of playoff success, how do you not start him when he can still get the job done? And then have a good backup like a Kenny Pickett? And then how do you have rookies who you're not really sure about? How do you throw them into the game when you're hoping to potentially make the playoffs? When is the right time to play them, to evaluate them? Right now, their 2 rookies are on rookie contracts, so they really have a lot of time to kind of evaluate them. But for right now, the here and now is Joe Flacco. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do this season and how much success they really do have. And just kind of see if they still have the 4 quarterbacks. I think they might end up trading one of them. I'm not exactly sure. That would be my guess. But then again, it's the NFL. Anything can happen week in and week out. All right, YouTube, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.